Like it's a big draw of. You get a lot of fresh air in you, and then exhale.
Usually when I feel one coming on, I grab my vape.
Ooh.
Oh, and then you can just
Yawn one in.
Yep. Yeah.
Yanni.
Yep, that's a Yanni.
Take it. Oh yeah. Dang.
Laurel or Yanni. Remember that when that was the big thing?
Laurel or Yanni?
I don't think that was ever a thing.
Dude, it was like the internet thing. It was kind of like when the blue black dress, and white gold dress came out. And they were like this. There was like a clip of audio, and they're like, "Is this saying Laurel or Yanni?"
Oh.
And half people thought that it said Laurel.
It's because there's like all these things out there that are like, whatever you read is what you hear. And like, there's a ton of words like that. And it'll be like, and I can't remember, but it'll be outlandish. It'll be like, if you read Lithuania, you hear Lithuania. But if you read basketball, you hear basketball. And then you're looking at the two words, and it'll be like, you're looking at Lithuania, and it's like, Lithuania. But then you're looking at basketball, and it's like, basketball. Like,
yeah.
How does that even, what? There's not even.
Isn't that how reading goes?
Okay, wait.
Yeah, but no. Yes, but no. So
I
there's
think you're describing reading right now.
Oh yeah, so you don't say the words. Well, the audio is provided for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, wait, listen to this, though. This is Laurel or Yanni.
Laurel. 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 Laurel.
What are you hearing?
Laurel.
That
Laurel.
I hear that one too.
Laurel. Laurel.
What? I gotta find a different one. Unless we're all on the same page. No way, three of us can think the same
is he
thing.
Saying the dress is purple?
Yeah.
Laurel.
There's no way Yanni.
Laurel.
That.
Yeah, there's no Yanni there.
Laurel.
It's all Laurel.
Yeah.
It's all Laurel. Laurel and Hardy.
Laurel and Hardy. Dude, I had Laurel and Hardy puppets growing up.
Oh, like how big were they?
Like they were like goosebump scary puppet size.
Like ventriloquist dummies.
That is what they were,
Okay.
because you could actually pull the top and it was just this part of their mouth move.
Oh, man.
Also, you know what's really funny? My brother and sister, who were not born during Laurel and Hardy time, like
none of us were. Like,
I mean,
our
they're
parents,
like 8
maybe.
and 11 years older than me, but that's like in the late 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
And they wanted puppets for Christmas, and my parents got them Laurel and Hardy puppets.
You know,
maybe
there probably wasn't like a huge selection back then.
I guess so,
like,
but I can't think. Like, weren't Laurel and Hardy in like the 40s?
Yeah, it was like black and white times,
Yeah.
and I think they made the transition.
These guys?
Yeah,
I had to look up what that would look like.
Oh yeah, that's a very. I'm sure that probably was a. That might be those two dolls.
This is the better version.
Oh gosh, I don't like that one.
Oh, these are the exact ones we had. Oh my god, those are
That's not the
Nazis.
ones you had.
Dude, these are the exact ones we had. The ones that had the overalls. $300. I should go steal those from my parents.
I
Be
think
living
your
like a
parents
king.
were introducing you to comedy at a young age.
Yeah, but they were.
Laurel and Hardy have-
with this gift.
It
They
is
have
cra-
the arguably
those were
the-
hand-me-downs.
That's
They were
even
like
funnier.
used dummies.
Get the joke or don't.
Somebody else's
Yeah.
hands have been in these. Yeah, I know. There's hand-me-downs. Laurel and Hardy did the.
They really handed those down.
Yeah, it's actually hand-me-ups.
Yeah.
and up me's.
Yeah, hand-up-me's.
Talk a little
That's what
bit,
puppets
a little
are.
bit closer to the mic.
Yeah.
Dust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you ever used a microphone before?
Yeah, Duster, the one
Having
who
headphone jack issues again.
Oh, do you want different?
Laurel and Hardy.
You guys always put me in the gag seat with the bad jack.
Oh, we always
is-
put you in the gag seat.
No, that's a white couch. Is there
thanks.
any other group or any other comedy bit that's as famous? People have said that Laurel and Hardy's "Who's on First" is arguably the #1 comedy bit of all time.
I never knew that was Laurel and Hardy.
Who's on first?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And he's like, no, what's on second? Like, I don't remember exactly how it goes, but the
No,
only
that's
thing.
Abbott and Costello.
You're absolutely right. Do you think that's the? Wait. Yeah, it is. No,
Yeah, I Googled it.
I googled it too, but I don't know the answer to the. Oh wait, we're talking about something different. I
No,
didn't know it was
you're talking about who's on first.
No, who's on first?
Who's on the mic?
Yeah, not Duster.
I think I am. Now I am.
Back here. Oh man, every time I move, my seat goes down just a little bit more.
Then you better hope that pole doesn't
We're also-
come through the cushion.
Yeah.
I didn't know if
Yes, I do hope that I hope that does not happen. It's,
but
Imagine if it did, though.
I don't want to.
Dear listener, imagine.
Imagine a time where a seat goes down slowly.
instead of dear, was that dear Amy or dear Susan?
Dear Abby?
Dear Abby. I was just gonna go through lady names for until I found it.
Dear Gina. Dear Christina.
What if we called random people and asked them for advice? Just the opposite.
I know a
of
few
like,
people who definitely aren't even awake right now. We could try them.
Really?
And you could they would be like, I woke up for this. And they'd be like, yeah, dude, you get it now.
And we'd be
The
like,
woke mom
yeah,
is already awake.
that could be something that we do. Who should we call?
Oh, well.
Wait, we got to think of a question to ask them to wake
Yeah.
up. What's a good question to ask them about like relationship advice?
I think one good starter question, if they're already asleep, is like, hey, what time were you planning to wake up? It's a good question to wake someone up with.
Yeah, what time's your alarm set for?
How late were you hoping to sleep today?
What time's your... Yep. Hey, do you have to work today? Is it your day off?
Okay, that's our questions. Bye.
Yep, thanks. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? That'd be
35.
35 wood?
35 chucks.
35 wood is what I use on the driving range.
I was thinking, is that a big club? Yeah, or is that small? Because like a 3 wood's getting smaller, a 7 wood's even smaller. 35 wood.
I think...
Wait,
does that have
Yeah,
to do
it's
with the
gonna be
angle?
real tiny. I think it's the size.
The 35 wood just goes... It's like the wrong angle, so you just like fire it right into the ground.
Trick shot, you know?
well, yeah, because a one,
Chip shots, trick shots.
yeah, a one goes farther, right?
Isn't a 3... Like, I just assumed it was the angle. Like, I don't know what... If it's... it's correlated to the number, but is
It's
it...
head size.
I don't know. I do know that the driver is typically a 5, right? And then the 3 is smaller than that. But you can use the 3 as a driver, right? I do.
Driver's not
Depending
a
if you
5
have it
wood.
like the
It's
driver
the
one, because I
wood.
think that they also have,
A 3 wedge?
yeah.
I don't know enough
No,
about
that one would go far because it's like the 9 iron, like a 3 iron would go farther with a less angle. Where
Right,
a
it would
9
go-
iron is like that's almost like a pitching wedge.
Yeah, it's got a lot more lift.
Yeah, so a 35 would probably be an iron and just be directly up. It might go concave. You might be hitting it just with straight top spin.
Whack, and it just goes straight up. And then you have to hit it with a baseball.
Yeah.
If you have a caddy, you might as well have all of the clubs, though. You know, so this is why you would need that one to get your caddy caked up.
Caked up caddy.
Caddy cake. Caddy.
Caddy, I'm caked up.
If you have a caddy and all the clubs in a bag, you
I don't-
probably have a cart.
You don't put the caddy in the bag.
Nobody puts caddy in the bag.
The caddy's out of the bag.
I wonder if people like get legit like pissed off at their caddy because like aren't they supposed to suggest the club? And I don't know if they
And
do
the
or
shot,
not.
probably.
But what do you? So the caddy is like, hey, I think you should do this, and then the PGA Pro is like, yeah, thanks for the advice. I'm only the guy that gets paid for this millions of dollars for winning.
But their caddies also get paid a pretty hefty amount if they win.
If they win,
I think they get paid a hefty amount even if they don't. My one nephew like caddies, and all he does is carry the clubs for people and probably cause chaos on the golf course, and he gets tipped like $100.
oh yeah.
So if you're like a professional caddy who actually does be like, I think you should use the 35 iron.
35 wood.
35 wood.
wood.
It's called that, but it's an iron. We've discovered.
We've
So,
discussed it's
yeah.
a wedge, yeah. And then, I was a caddy once when I used to work at golf courses, but I worked in the kitchen. And then they were like, "Hey, we have this whatever tournament. Like, all we're doing is serve. Like, the restaurant's closed. We're just serving burgers." And they had this dude on the grill, and they were like, "We need 2 people to run the carts." And of course, they took the 2 waitresses to run the carts around. And I was like, "That's the job I wanted. Just drive on the cart and hand out beers." but they made me go caddy. So I had to go put on a polo, and I was out there walking around with people's bags. Just here you go. And yeah, they tipped me. I mean, back then it was like back in the early 50s when I was. They gave me.
Back when Laurel and
really-
Hardy
you
were
look
hot.
really good.
Abbott and Costello were
Yeah.
fist fighting in the streets. Yeah, that guy gave me $50 when the whole thing was done, and I was like, "This is more than I would have made in 3 days working in the kitchen." Nah, I don't think it was quite like
Dude,
that.
in the
but-
50s, that was $5 million today.
right? And I think he only gave me that because he was like, "Now don't spend it all in one place, see?" And then he like flicked his cigar, and I was like, "Where'd you get that cigar and mustache?" And he was like, "I've had it the whole time." See? I was like, "Whoa."
It's like, I'm in the mob, see?
Yeah.
And then he brought out a Tommy gun and was like... "Tut, tut, 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 tut."
1, 2, 10.
Also, the golf club that has a 35-degree angle is a 13 wood.
13.
13 wood, 35-degree angle.
Is the head small?
Yeah, but wood 14. 13 wood, but wood 14.
Does it show
Oh.
a picture of it? Like, is the head size there?
I don't know if I
think
can
the
bring
head-
that up on this
I think
computer.
it gets smaller. It's still
Look at
my
that
running
angle.
theory.
It's
Yeah.
just that little plate.
Yeah,
You have
Yeah,
to be
right
real
there.
good.
There's nothing for scale there. We don't even know what that
that's
really
probably 2 scale.
I feel real left out because I can't see the computer
I also
screen.
don't know, how are you going to get that to scale?
You put a
is.
quarter
Blaise
next
is
to
like
it.
trying to order shoes online, putting his own up to the screen. He's like, nope, that one's not it. That can't
Wait,
be
that's
the right
not
shoe.
how-
Oh man,
Yeah, I really got to be careful which TV and monitor that I'm using when ordering clothes. I go on the 75-inch TV for my T-shirts.
Yeah, I need a smaller TV because like everything I order is too huge from this one. So.
I'm on like a 24-inch monitor, just buying crop tops every week.
Well, that's about right.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I'm still ordering it, knowing that it only goes this high.
man, I can't. I've stopped ordering clothing online. It just
How?
doesn't. I just don't. I don't click order. It just never works out. Like I'm much rather. I tried to order shoes once. I tried to order a shirt. Everything's just been wrong.
Well, where else can you get these things?
The store. I usually go to the store.
That's the internet.
No. Like a what do they call those things now? Brick and mortar. Yeah, like the mall, Von Muir. Just kidding. I've never been in that store. Is it even open yet?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
That store's been there, and like they've been hyping that store up, which I've never heard of it. Maybe I'm just not demure enough, but like demure,
Demure.
demi-mure. So I've never heard of it, and then all of a sudden it's like the best thing that's ever happened to Fargo Moorhead. And I'm like,
I saw a line. There was
Fun.
like a picture of a bunch of older women in line for that on opening day.
is it that Halberstrat's or whatever that used to be?
No, Halberstadt's Herberger's.
Herberger's, that was the store. Halberstrat's is the fancy soup place.
Yeah,
Love that place.
Herberger's, sister of Asperger's.
His burgers. That's what it is.
His
Yeah.
burgers,
Yeah, but his burgers isn't a real thing.
but it should be.
It should be.
At the Center Mall, they have 2 haircutting places, and they're called His and Hers, and it's a dude cutting hair and then a lady cutting hair, and the guy who cuts hair, never seen anybody sitting in his chair. The girl who cuts hair, it's like 10 people waiting in line.
Really? She's just a smoke show?
No, she's like 75 years old, and she's probably cut those people's hairs for the last, I don't know, 60 years.
Oh.
And they all have the same Laurel and Hardy haircut. And the dude is in the other side just wishing he could still smoke inside. He has to go outside.
I should be grandfathered in at that point.
That's,
Truly grandfather.
truly grandfathered. I remember when I first started the workforce, like you could smoke indoors. And I was like, this is crazy. And then very shortly after, it was like, nah, you can't smoke in here. And I was like, man, people are going to be upset.
Yeah.
And they were. They were upset.
Upset people. Dude, I was upset this week, actually, which
Because
is...
you couldn't smoke inside?
well, yeah, that was it. The other thing is I felt like an old man because I yelled at kids. I yelled at children as I was driving. But I was going down like a busy road, and these kids were just pushing this other kid into the road, like into traffic. And like cars were having to swerve to not hit him. And I'm like, I don't know if they're actually trying to kill this kid or what. And I rolled down I honked a bunch, and then I yelled down the window, and I was like, stop acting like little pieces of shit. And then
Do you have to dump that?
I didn't say the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Yeah.
then they ended up, they were black then, and I was like, they're gonna post on Facebook. I called them the N-word for sure.
Oh, absolutely not.
I was like, they're gonna get video of me and be like, look at that person. They said the N-word. I'm like, nope, but they're gonna make everyone believe it.
It would just be your license plate, because like they'd have to be like incredibly fast.
I don't think that there's never a time when they don't have their Google glasses or phones out.
If they're pushing kids into the street, if they're pitching kids into the street for entertainment,
Yeah.
they probably don't have Google glasses. Those are expensive, like the Ray-Ban ones with the cameras in them.
Or they're like, look at this cool content that I can make to get another 1 million views by pushing this kid in front of a car.
Watch our friend, I don't know,
Die.
Well, I was gonna name him, so he had like a story, But then I was like, well, what's a person's name that I don't know? And then every name that went through the Rolodex, I already knew somebody like that with that name.
Ralphino.
Rufino.
No, we know one of those.
Rufio?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do know a Rufio.
Where's he now?
Last time I saw him, he was on. Oh dang, he was in a movie where he was. Was it where he was like fighting? People were fighting, and he was like, "This is my guy," and he wins a bunch of money. But he wasn't fighting. He was just the guy who was collecting the money.
That's a smarter spot to be in.
Well, he also gets beat up because like everybody's like, "Hey, you can't bring this guy around here." And then he gets beat up, and then the other guy who fights comes in and saves him. I forget the name of the movie though.
We're looking it up.
Yeah.
What's Rufio's
I can't
name?
even wonder about this.
What's Rufio's name? And I think the movie it's got Michael Jai White in it, who's like the underrated. Well, I think he's like a bigger version of Wesley Snipes, if you will.
Bigger than Wesley Snipes.
Yeah. He's been in a bunch of movies.
Where's he from?
Michael Jai White. He was the guy who played Spawn.
This is Dante.
Oh, that is a big man.
Yeah.
Wait, who's Rufio though?
Rufio's the dude from Peter Pan.
Oh, I thought that
Hook.
you actually knew a guy
Hook.
named Rufio. That was
Nah.
His name's Dante Basco.
Rufio's real name is Dante For real?
Yep.
that's a sexy name.
I'm not gonna claim to be like insanely woke, but I'm just gonna I'm gonna tell you this. I'm surprised his name is Dante.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the same person? Show me a picture of Dante.
Well, it says, what did he do after Hook? Is that already? That's convincing.
That is a good.
After his breakout role in Hook, Dante Basco worked constantly in television and film.
Yup.
I'll show you a picture. It says, see now at 47, and it shows the picture of him from Hook. So
Yeah, and that started a whole trend of hair. People were doing their hair like that. Not one person
It's
did
probably
it.
what ruined my.
They all did it.
Everybody did it.
Everyone did it.
What if you
Everyone did it.
cross-reference Michael Jai White and Dante's Peak?
Monster Hunter was the last movie he did. That doesn't sound like he was a gambling guy.
Monster Hunter isn't
What if
that
he
with?
was? Isn't that a game for Wii?
Maybe Monster Hunter was also in. That's a Netflix movie with the girl from Resident Evil, which is also a monster hunting movie.
Yeah, she's a big monster hunter.
Lisa Evangelista. No, that's not her.
Lisa Evangelista.
Lisa Evangelista.
She's a
She wasn't.
She was
monster
no.
hunter.
It was.
You might need to get closer there.
I don't want to.
There you go.
Get closer.
It doesn't. It keeps not like flipping over to you because you're not talking loud
You're
enough. It's a lot of me and Mark Way on the video.
That's
Which is-
okay. It
which is-
flips when you talk?
Yeah, flips over. So you can see me, like right now I'm talking, you can see me, and then when you start talking.
Honestly, I thought it was just random. The camera switching.
No, it's supposed
Oh,
to do.
no.
It's supposed to do the talking.
It
Well,
does the
I'm
talking
supposed
for
to
you
do
like
the
AI.
talking. I'm supposed to do the recording. And only that arm isn't great.
That's
Neither
okay.
is the thing that holds the microphone.
It's all sloppy.
Yeah.
It like moves around a lot. I tried to sit there the other day.
What's with this
Meanwhile,
arm? Does that one work, or is that just stuck
That one
up?
is like bad. It's pretty stuck up. It's just a microphone that's stuck just
It's
straight up in the
way
air.
up there.
That one has bad feedback all the time. It's like when you do the audio, it like is like.
It's not good
whole
feedback
time in the
either.
back.
Yeah. It's
I
bad
think a good
feedback.
segment for a radio show though is like a guess what they were saying type of deal where you can't really understand the words. No one's sitting close enough to their mic.
We can still kind of hear it in the background, but we have a lot of things where we're trying to say something and something else comes out, or like we just say the word all incorrectly. Like if I was going to say, I don't know, let's pick a word, Lithuania, I might be like, and then we just riff off that and go off of things that make you go,
No.
Nope. I'm convinced that Laurel and Hardy are still alive.
That sounded like Laurel Lynn.
Laurel
Laurel
Lynn.
Lynn Hardy. That's actually their daughter that they had together.
Because
They
they
just
were
named
a
her
gay
Laurel
couple.
Lynn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like pioneers in that, and they had a child together. Not together.
Well, and then her brothers were out solving crimes.
Yeah.
The Hardy Boys.
The Hardy brothers. Hardy boys.
The Hardy Brothers.
Well, they were brothers, weren't they?
I don't think so. Yeah, they had to have been if they were Hardy. Nah, they weren't brothers.
They were using that word different back then because I think they were white kids on the cover.
Oh, they were white, yeah.
Oh yeah. They're not making books like that to uplift people of color in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they were using the word brothers different back then.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that they even said it like if they were oh yeah, that restaurant's only for brothers.
Hardy brothers.
Hardy Brothers.
Yeah.
And then two white dudes walk in there and they're like, "This is my brother Sven and I don't know what's
He
another
solves the crime, yeah.
Yeah. And
Who
they're
solves
also
the crime?
they're also pretty thick and hungry, and they're like, we're some pretty hardy
We're
brothers.
Hardy Brothers, and then they're like, "Here's some soup."
And then they're like, when the black people come in, it's like, no, you're supposed to go to the Hardy Brothers across the street.
They said the two white dudes across the street, and they're like, "What's up? We're here." And everybody just turns and looks at them like, "I don't think you could eat this food." And they're like, "All right."
Yeah, what are you doing with the chicken and waffles, white boy?
Oh. Wow, Duster.
Having headphone jack problems again, but
Oh,
I'll
nice.
get through. I can hear you, in the room.
Because we're right next to each other?
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get
that
it.
is nice.
One of the things about being right next to each other is if somebody says something, we can hear it. But if it's not in the microphone, then it's way over here.
See,
Then people
dear
can't-
listener, guess what he just said?
Oh, they heard me.
See?
Dear
Why do we need-
listener,
I don't think
I
that.
don't think there's any deer listening to this.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I've been in the wild.
I put a speaker out there.
Oh, nice. There's also one
The Johnson
time
Park.
Kyle Huber went out in the woods after, or he went to a cabin
Yeah, he said he went to a cabin and didn't know
for a
who
week
the
and
president
didn't.
was.
Yeah. He was like, I got a idea for your show. I'm going to come.
Do not.
Good
go.
thing we're doing. Yeah, good thing you got the video aspect.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't want to see something like that.
He goes, I'm going to come into the studio. And then it was right before the election. He goes, then I'll live for a week at a cabin without checking out any media and knowing who the president is. And you guys tell me the next week. And then we did it. And the whole time I'm like, there's no way he does it. Why did we even do this?
He knew who the president was.
Right away, he's like, I was just guessing that it was probably Trump. And we're like, why? He's like, well, I just went by a gas station and a sign was still up that said Trump or something. We're like, what? Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Either that or you looked at your phone constantly during the election. I mean, it's crazy to think that you could isolate yourself like that. And I mean, if he really did try, that's awesome. But there's no way like with the amount of media and current events and things like that, that you could not be, like you would be there.
You can feel it in your bones.
Oh, I went to sleep, and as I was falling asleep, I knew, you know what I mean? But I also was watching stuff all the way up until I went to bed. But I was like, we already know what's going to happen here.
See, I missed the part of the setup of that story where it was around election time. So I thought it was a funnier bit when he's like, I'll just disappear for a week, and then I'll come back and we'll try to guess who's the president.
We weren't talking about the country. We were talking about the president of the Nakatomi Corporation. So they had a big corporate merger, and they were like, well, who's going to be the new president? And then
That is really funny just to come back like a week later and be like, still president?
yeah. Did they keep the guy who was in power?
I always thought it would be a funny thing to do is just to drive in your car and like go by someone that's walking and just slam on the brakes and yell at them and be like, what year is it? And then just look around up and be like, it's already happening, and then just take off. And then do that like 3 times over to the same person who's going just to go around the block. Be like, what year? The 3rd time just come out with a gun and be like, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to have to, it's you that's the problem.
It's you. I found him. Oh,
How
man.
funny would that be? If you were walking and someone did that to you, I think I would be scared for a while.
Well,
Like-
I would be like, what just happened to me up until the part where you pulled out a gun.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
be like,
Maybe I
oh
won't
my
do
God.
that part.
Don't pull out a gun. But like, maybe don't point a gun at an unsuspecting person, but there's got to be like okay, so it's already happening.
Slingshot.
Ooh, a slingshot. I used to have a wrist rocket slingshot, and I loved that
I still have a
thing.
wrist rocket.
Show
Okay.
us. Let's see.
What's the okay, wait. What else could we do there?
With a wrist rocket?
No, before that you were like, what we could do is drive around.
Oh, I was just gonna say like I don't know, take a pill or something, like a red pill or a blue pill, or like put some baking soda in your mouth and just and it's like foaming, and then you just drive away, right?
That's less threatening.
Yeah,
in a good
right.
way.
Like
yeah.
you don't want it to be like you want the person to like be walking away like, yo, what the heck just happened to me? Versus like, oh my God, a guy pulled up in a car and pulled out a gun on me.
Yeah, that would be but that'd be
After
the 3rd
driving
time.
around the 3 times and being like, what year is it? A lady asked me yesterday. She was, oh man, what was I doing yesterday? I was standing in line.
McDonald's.
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't at McDonald's. I was standing in a line waiting for something, and then this lady kept staring at me. Like she was looking, and actually it was Sunday. She was looking at me and kept looking, and I kept seeing her like turn her head and look at me. And I was like, I don't know what's wrong with this lady, but why is she? And she was just sitting there all by herself with like a bunch of stuff around her. And then right before like I got up to the front, she like was gathering all her stuff. She just walks up to me with her big giant 3 bags in a cart, and she's just like, do you know what time it is? And then I looked at my watch, because normally you bring up your watch and then the face of it turns on, and it didn't
face
turn
of
on.
death.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like I brought it up to my wrist, which I'm not wearing right now, and then I just stared at it for what seemed like an eternity. And then I looked at my watch, I looked at her, I looked at my watch, and then it came on, and I was like, it's 2:20.
Yeah, sorry, I'm still counting the numbers.
Right? I was like, I'm so glad my watch is digital, because
Yeah.
otherwise I'd be like, the big hand is on the little hand.
I thought for sure that you were going to look back and she was just gone.
She's not going to be there. I looked at my
She
watch, and
disappeared.
yup.
We saw an insane
Clown posse.
We saw some. I did see an insane clown posse. We saw something weird last night. Actually, we saw an insane man pushing his mother in a wheelchair at the bar last night.
That was awesome.
Dude,
I was going to say wild, but it was awesome.
this guy came into the bar and was just being pretty confrontational to people. Well, not like
I wouldn't say confrontational, but just the weirdest. There's no way to describe it, because it wasn't. I honestly didn't feel like it was threatening,
I kind of did.
but it felt weird because like the dude pushed his mom, and then he would like walk up to random people and be like when I said, okay, I'm leaving, he was like, what? You're leaving? And then he started following us, and then he like turned and put his arms on the shoulders of two guys that were just sitting at the bar and started like talking to them. And then I think Dave played it off well. He just did not pay attention, and he was like staring off into the distance.
I don't think Dave knew what was going on, though.
That might be true as well. He was kind of like, it was weird because the dude had his mom. He had multicolored dreads that were like right to his shoulders, and then he was, I wouldn't say incoherent, but like nonsensical.
Yeah, he was just talking to people and not really saying anything. He didn't make sense what he was saying.
Yeah.
Like he was just going to other people being like, what, you don't know? And they're like, we're not
Like,
talking to
know.
you.
Did it seem like his actual mom, or maybe it's just like a conversation lady?
I mean, it could have been his actual mom. He
Did
first,
she talk to anybody?
well, I don't know how they did it, but I did watch them come through the front door. And that this establishment, you have to go. The wheelchair accessible part is outside.
Yeah, they didn't come through the wheelchair accessible
Yeah,
part.
like
That's
came,
the weirdest part. I didn't even put that together.
He just him and his they I don't know if he didn't carry her up the stairs in a wheelchair, but they were at the front door when he started pushing her in the wheelchair. So like, did she walk up the stairs? They opened up the wheelchair and then she got in it. I don't know.
I also didn't see. They must have done that quick.
It was a weird situation, and then he left her there. Like, because when me and Blaise left, Blaise and I, he was out the door behind us, and she was still sitting at the bar. Actually, and I picture somebody in a wheelchair at the bar. The bar's usually, I'll say, a waist level, a little bit higher maybe, and then somebody in a wheelchair, it's eye level for not even. She was
Below,
under the bar.
it was a high bar.
So like, she probably couldn't see the bartender, you know? I'm sure the bartender could see her, but it was just like, back up a little bit or go sit at a table or I don't know. It was weird.
I also forgot that someone on my Snapchat had that lady on her story, and her son was not pushing her anymore, but these drunk girls were.
Oh, no. Oh, that's that. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Oh, is that Abby? Oh, man.
Imagine just being in a wheelchair and having just drunk 20-year-old girls coming up just being like, hey.
You're like, please stop pushing me.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, we're dancing.
Yeah.
Everybody just stacks their purse up on her.
My friend Corey, one time when we were in college, my friend Corey, female, we were...
That's her last name?
Corey, female, yes.
And it's a guy.
Yeah. Crazy how that do. But
How that do?
But all of a sudden we heard we used to throw like huge parties, and we're downstairs and we hear Chase is here, and everyone starts cheering. There's 70 to 100 people at our house. The only people who don't know who Chase is my 3 roommates and I. We're like, who is this? They're just carrying a guy in a wheelchair downstairs. He's like raising the roof and stuff. And we're like, crazy, whatever. Then we had one room specifically made for shotgunning beers. Was that a drain in the middle? And we were going to go shotgun beers back there. And all of a sudden, like, oh no, I skipped a part here.
Oh.
First of all, Chase playing beer pong, eye level to the table. Pretty cool, whatever. A little bit later, we go into like the room that controls all the music. We had like a separate room in my buddy's room. We walk into there, and there's like, right before we get in there, this guy stops us. He's like, "Hey, Chase is gonna get some from this girl in there." And we like see in the crack. We're like, "That's Corey. She's like our good friend from." Yeah, right. And we go in there, and we're like, "Hey, buddy, get out of here." We just wheel him out. And we go, Corey. You'll never guess what all these guys just said. They said that we were going to C-block you because, or that guy, because you were going to get with him. She's like, I would never. And we're like, I know, crazy, right? And then
Meanwhile, she's like putting
Yeah,
You don't
but-
have to say C block on the radio. You can say chair block her.
That's really good. But yeah, so then after that, a little bit later, we're going to the shotgun room, shotgun beer room,
okay, good.
and it's like cracked open a little bit. We're like, what's going on here? I like gut my head in a little bit. Corey's sitting on his lap making out with him, and he just wheels the chair back and slams the door in my face. And we're like, this is crazy. Then the whole
Wait, so your friend was or was not making out with?
she was just sitting on his lap, and then the whole rest of the party, you would just see them wheeling around in different areas of the house, and them just making out. They didn't stop sucking face, and also
You're talking about Corey and that
the
dude.
guy in wheelchair and Chase, and then all of a sudden I would see them like upstairs and then downstairs. I'm like, how are you guys doing this? And they couldn't tell me because they were making out so much. But then at the end of the night, there's like 6 of us, I don't know, 6 to 10 of us left at the party. They're still just sucking face in the corner. And then we're like, okay, you guys staying here? Or what's the deal? Smoothest thing I ever saw. Don't stop kissing. Okay, their mouths are interlocked. And the guy just like wheels out. He wheels out forward of the house through the door. And then we have like 2 steps to get down off of our.
Oh no!
And he just wheels backwards, props it up perfectly, and wheels down. Do. They don't stop sucking face.
She's sitting on the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Dude, he went down the chairs so smooth.
legend.
And then we had a fence though that was fenced in. He's
Oh,
like,
no.
I live over here. They have a fence that is a swinging door, and they just kept getting stuck and couldn't get through that area. They would like, I'm like, stop sucking face and looking where you're going, because it was like Austin Powers like hitting the post and backing up and hitting the other post until they went in. And then he also had a pickup. He was sober this whole time, but he had a pickup that would pick up, like he'd get out of his wheelchair, and then he had a little thing that like a claw machine
Yeah.
that would pick up. He'd pick up his chair. He'd have to have a couple tries or just drop it. No, but he'd pick up his chair and then move it into his pickup and then just drive off.
Why do they even call other pickups without that?
I know, right?
Pickup.
Pickups don't pick up bullpucky. Like it's
This
not a
one-
pickup.
That is
This
the
one
only
does.
one that's
This is
truly
the
a
only
pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going back.
All right. You know,
I'm sending a letter back
on a
in time.
on a real note, do you guys know any grown adults that still say "pick 'em up truck"?
I don't think I've ever heard someone actually say that.
Oh man.
Just for fun, I would think.
Yeah. Or just
No.
like,
Well, I mean, if it was for fun, it was like every time. Like for fun, I'd be like, "That's a pick 'em up truck because it really picked him up." Ha 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 ha.
School bus is like a pick 'em up truck.
Well, it's a bus. A pick 'em up bus.
Kind of a truck.
Maybe if it was a flatbed. Well, I have a 4Runner, and every once in a while, somebody will refer to my vehicle as a truck. And I'm like, well, it's not really a truck.
not at all.
But is it an SUV? It's a sport utility vehicle.
Also, whenever somebody says 4Runner, half the time I think of like those Gators and stuff, because people call those 4Runners sometimes.
Oh, that's incorrect. Gators didn't get popular until like the last probably 5 or 10 years.
That's false.
No way. Like the 4-wheelers for sure. But now they got like these vehicles that you can go around in the whatever area. But I feel like you didn't see those things. Gators and whatever they're called. They're not sport utility vehicles. I forget what they're called.
Like off-road stuff. No, but you didn't grow up in like the country stuff. Those were around since the early aughts. That's like 20 years. Only
20 years. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, to me.
Sometimes I forget, though, that 2020 is 5 years ago.
Right.
I was like, you were probably thinking like that was 2005.
Yeah.
I still think 10 years ago was 1990, so I'm 10.
And look how far you've come being 10 years old.
I know.
You got your own radio show, nationally syndicated podcast. You're on TV. You have a weekly comedy special. You have a Netflix subscription. Most 10-year-olds don't have that.
I don't have a Netflix subscription. You liar.
That would be a funny, like you're introducing a comedian and you're like, you might have seen him on Netflix looking for something to watch. Give it up for Blaise Kautzman. You know, like, oh man.
You might know him from his package deal with Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus. Give it up for Mark Way Belcher.
Yeah, that's true because I do have that package. It's crazy to me how much that thing costs actually to watch live TV.
The live TV package is way more. I just have the
yeah.
one where you can just bundle the 3, which is like, I don't know, $20.
I don't know. Well, I don't know if I have to have the live TV one or not, but I feel like I do.
It's like a hundo, isn't it?
I know. It's like almost, I think for the whole thing altogether, it's like $140.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I might as well just have cable. And I also have Amazon Prime and Netflix on top of that. So I'm like, what? I mean, I don't have Apple TV. Like, I feel like I should cancel my, not Netflix, because every once in a while, but cancel something and just, or maybe I should, what if there was a platform where you could go find somebody who has an Apple TV subscription and you give them your Netflix password, they give you your Apple TV subscription password.
What if there's a platform that everyone does that already?
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out
online and figure it out.
I'm trying to figure out how to get paid through it. Like if I'm the middleman, you know, like I hook you guys up with each other, so now you owe me $3 or some stuff like that.
Hey, you want to pay more for a subscription?
People do want to pay more for subscriptions.
I guess, yeah, if you would get it for like, you'd technically be getting it for like $3 giving it through you.
Yeah, you'd get the subscription,
Yeah.
like low-cost subscriptions, and then I just keep passing out my password, and they'd be like, it didn't work, and I'd be like, the user you are trying to reach is no longer subscribed. Like, sorry, I just got your $3.
Yeah.
Dude, I pay for Apple TV or whatever it is.
Yep.
And then I'll click a movie I want to watch, and it's like, cool, $12.99. You can watch it on Paramount. These other services that you guys have.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know actually what I'm paying for.
I don't like
with
when
my
they do
Apple
that.
TV subscription.
Yeah.
I think you could skip that one.
I've got, well, seems like they have all, like, some cool shows that I probably would want to watch.
Apple TV has like Severance, which is very cool.
But I don't know
I
why
watched
they're
a couple
slinging
other
other
things.
people's services. They're trying to do this middleman thing
Dude,
that
they
you
do,
want.
yeah,
With
'cause
Paramount,
they
yeah.
kind of do that on Hulu and stuff too now, because it'll be like, watch this on Disney, and you're like,
It's all the same parent company.
yeah, but it is being.
They're probably all going to
Weird.
merge into one, like,
That's the thing. It's going to turn around into just be like, hey, pay $120 for this whole thing. It's just going to be a cable package again.
Yup, except for it's online.
And you should be able to still pick what you're watching.
Yeah.
TV, you don't get to do that.
Yeah,
Correct
like
the
I pay for
mundo.
the live
Like, it just
TV.
shows you
Actually,
stuff.
mine is live TV, no commercials, and I'm constantly watching a commercial. It'll be
Yeah.
like the movie will play right after this ad, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I paid like $12 extra a month to not have commercials, and here I am watching a commercial, and you can't skip them. That's what's crazy. Like, you should be able to just skip the commercials.
I remember somehow I was watching this, we were streaming something. I think it was through the Brave browser, and it doesn't load ads. And the show went to a commercial break, and it said, "We're sorry, we're trying to show you an ad right now, but like because of your ad blocker, we can't." And I was like, "That's okay, little buddy."
That is very funny to apologize for that.
Yeah, it was just like words that popped up on the screen. It was like, we're trying.
But I feel like that's the same thing. Like I don't look at the ad like an inconvenience. It's more of an interruption.
Yeah,
Like if
immersion breaker.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm watching this thing and then all of a sudden, hey, do you like Downy fabric softener? And you're just like,
Didn't know that's where you're going with that. You know, when someone says they're gonna go take a shower, you know, and you're like, "Oh, shower, yeah,
yeah.
Do you like Downy softener?
Softener.
Just split like microseconds.
No,
My
I
brain-
get it.
my brain
Yeah.
went
I get it.
elsewhere.
Did I
It is crazy how fast brains work.
send you that?
Sometimes.
Like because now we're talking about Downy. Did I send you that? There's a person.
Buddy.
this is
There's
gonna
a few
get
of them.
Yeah, there's a person out there on I think it was Instagram or maybe I think it was Instagram or whatever. But like you're just scrolling through, and then all of a sudden there's this girl in a bikini. Just like, oh, you see the girl in the bikini, but then the thing says, I still deserve love even though like I have Down syndrome or whatever. And I was like, nah. And I clicked on it, and it's like this girl who is like, she definitely has Down syndrome, but she definitely is like an Instagram whatever bikini
definitely
person.
has
I was
like
what the heck?
Definitely has like implants and stuff that I don't know. It's a fine line for a doctor to be like, yeah, I'll do that.
Do her parents know? That's the question that I had, because like she's clearly making money from this, and like the comments were just off the chains. Like it was like I was like I probably spent half my workday reading these comments. Like, oh my gosh, and then I couldn't believe what I was watching. And then I had
for hours.
Right. I was like, I can't believe.
You're like, I'm going to have to see what else she has.
I was like, the content you want to see is on this page. Like, no, I don't want to see any of that.
Like, get all my links. Get all my winks.
She didn't get all the links.
Yeah. Speaking of the links,
actually,
35-degree wood.
Let's hit the links later today.
I would go.
I can't.
I didn't even golf once last year.
We should go to the Shriner sometime.
El Zago, that's a 9-hole course, right?
Yeah.
R3, yeah.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
I've never golfed it.
Yeah.
I heard it's pretty nice.
Because you can go pretty quick.
Yeah.
And it's like you walk it, so you kind of get exercise.
I'm out.
I'm going to one-wheel it for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen, at Shields, they have that cart bag that's like an electric bike. It's almost like the Tron motorcycle, where you lean forward and like you can, rev it like a motorcycle, but it holds your bags too.
Yeah.
But it's electric.
Oh, those are sweet. You pretty much ride your bags.
Yeah, but I've never seen one in real use.
Oh, I have, and they're sweet.
I bet you they're probably at the Moorhead Country Club and the Fargo Country Club.
What else was I going to say? Do you ever disc golf? You ever disc golf?
Not for 2 years, but I did for many.
Well, we should start disc golfing this year again.
Yeah, I got all my stuff. So.
Dude, you ever see the people that disc golf and have like 30 different
the stroller that they push around?
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you there's not enough for this, it doesn't seem like I guess there must be a use for each one, but if you need a caddy for that, I have like 3. I'm like, putter, long range, and then like a mid range. For those other guys are like,
I could go with one disc.
Oh, for sure.
For the longest time, I went with one disc until I found a second one, and I was like, oh, sweet. Now I have 2, and actually I did buy one because me and my kid we went once.
Yeah,
and it's like
my whole spinal cord is fused together, so I pretty much only have one disc.
Nice. That's unfortunate because when you go to throw, like, it just goes a little bit like, ah.
I can move my. Imagine if you couldn't bend midway through your back.
Some people can't, or some people like have that thing where they're so hunched over. That's the worst.
I try to catch myself hunching, but I've been hunching.
I've been hunching
your
too.
boy gonna be round someday.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll just do this.
You got to step back. Yeah, actually, there's a guy I know, and he kind of walks like his shoulders are back.
Yeah,
and I've often thought like, well, it probably, because to me, I don't say it looks weird, but like he has really good like his shoulders are back.
Yeah, posture. But you do look like a big gym bro doing that. Which I would rather look like not a gym bro rather than be healthy.
With invisible, what do they call it? Invisible lat syndrome, where like they walk around with their arms out, but they don't really need to have their arms out. They're just walking around like their arms are huge.
Yeah,
and it's just like and like what's this right here?
Your
lats. Yeah, so they're
you know
invisible.
that lat syndrome.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I don't know the muscle groups.
Dude,
could be a guy just dealing with sweaty pits.
It could be
airing him out for a while.
Only that is like, is that guy really strong? Or does he have sweaty pits?
He's just trying to catch some breeze.
Yeah.
I have a jacket that has zippers right here, and it's my favorite jacket.
It is kind of nice when they have those.
They're like letting that heat out.
Dude, Duster and I were talking this past weekend, or I guess this was 2 weekends ago now, that I saw a guy on Facebook say that he went on a date with someone, and then halfway through the date, he told him he had undetectable AIDS.
Yeah. Yeah, you were saying
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
and then the guy then he was like, I can't believe he left, and he aired it out on Facebook. Everyone was on his side. I was like, I don't know, man. I think that's something that I wouldn't feel comfortable with. Maybe I wouldn't just leave, but I'd be like, I don't feel comfortable here. And Duster was like, how did they know he had it if it's undetectable?
No, that's 100% true.
Yeah.
He probably detected it, and then he started taking drugs to make it.
Well, yeah.
But still.
But it is funny because then we were like, I thought that was so funny. Then my buddy had like a huge gross rash on his hand. He's like, I have an undetectable rash. We're like, that is not undetectable.
It was detectable.
That thing was so detectable. He had a huge Band-Aid over it, and he was like, you guys want to see it? We're like, we don't need to. He took it off. We're like, gross. I was hanging out with that guy this weekend.
I was hanging out with Hitler? Is that what you're about to
Yeah, I was hanging out with Hitler. He had a gross hand. But my buddy, this weekend, I was looking at his hand. I'm like, wow, your rash. He's like, still not good, is it? He's like, no, but it's like kind of crusted over now. It was like open red last week. He's like, I'm like, you should do something about
like
that.
Road rash or like a skin condition rash, like itchy?
That's more what it looked like. And then, but it was also like pussy and stuff.
Yeah, it kind of looked like we were eating burgers, and I was tempted to kind of like dip. See what that's all about. You know?
Yeah. Oh man,
give me that goop for this burger. You know.
All right. When you're eating eggs, do you like them to be soft yolk where you can dip your toast in?
Oh yeah.
You like that? I had to make those this morning.
I don't like hard yolk.
I'm not a big softy. Like
you like
runny
when
yolk?
you like when the yolk gets like thick and like real thick.
Well, what I would prefer is that you either don't break the yolk and cook it to completion so I can pop it out, or I could eat it like a chip. A little bit of salt.
But that's still a runny yolk.
And it doesn't have to be. If you cook it all the way through, like just heat it up all the way.
Yeah, but I don't like that.
I can't.
I don't like the consistency of thick yolk.
I don't like the.
We're talking about how Marquay likes his yolks.
I'm telling him he's wrong.
No, some people like. I had to make. We at our house we call them dippy eggs because when we made them when my son was a little kid, we were like, oh, you can dip your toast in there.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure he would be like dip, ew. But instead he was like dip, and just like, whoa, okay. So,
yeah, dude. I'm like your son. I love the dippy part. I love just taking toast at the end and just getting all the runny yolk.
Oh no, that's not for me at all.
Yeah.
Nope.
the consistent, like hard-boiled eggs as well, I'm not a fan of.
Oh gosh. In some cases I'll take the yolk or the egg, break it apart with the yolk in there, and I'll either just toss the yolk because I don't need it, and I'll just eat the whites unless I bought the egg, and then I'm like, oh no, I'm eating this whole thing because I paid $2.39 for these 2 eggs.
Yeah.
A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Gump.
Did you hear about that really strong egg?
No.
It was yolked.
Do you get it? Do you get the yolk?
So, do we get the yolk? That's funny. Yeah, the yolk.
Yeah, but do you get it?
No.
This should be our new segment, and it's just called That's the Yolk.
That's the yolk.
Now you got yolk on your face.
Yo, you got yolked, and then we just throw an egg in your face if you don't get it.
Just walk up to some like gym bro who's got real lat syndrome, throw an egg at him.
That's
and be
good.
Like, You're
That
yoked.
is good.
You just got yoked.
Let's go to our friend's gym and throw eggs all over the place. They'll enjoy that, and it'll be fun.
They'll enjoy it. It'll be fun. They won't beat the crap out of us.
Yeah.
For months and months.
I know the perfect large men we can do that to. Yeah. I always work out at the same time. There's always like the strongest guys at the gym and then me. Cause it's like, go to like Evolution Fitness, free plug. Bethany and Justin. Yeah, I always go there and it's like, they specialize in like bodybuilders or like a bunch of bodybuilders and stuff go there. Like they have rooms just for looking like your lat syndrome.
special machines that are
Yeah.
hard to find that you can only get there.
Yeah, it is sweet. And then they, but dude, when I go there, I'm like, right away, I was like, teach me how to do this stuff
And then leave me
on these
alone.
different
Yeah.
machines, so I don't look like a total idiot while I'm there. And then I go there, and it's just the largest NFL players I've ever seen, and me being like, yeah, whatever, you don't want to get, you don't want any of this.
Would you feel more comfortable in a muscle suit that made you look like the others?
I should start doing that. I should start wearing a goose suit.
But then you have to wear like it'd be so warm.
Goose suit riot. Throw back a bottle of beer.
Not in the gym.
No, yeah, but like beer is reference to protein powder.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
but
that's
protein
my
powder
favorite
doesn't
kinds.
throw back a bottle of protein powder doesn't fit. You know,
Goose suit riot. Protein powder.
in your ear.
No, I can't
In
think
your
right
ear.
with you guys singing in this headset.
I booshed this protein powder. It goes.
We
it
could have changed
activates
headsets.
so fast.
No, it's the singing. It's the singing. I can't think of a song when you guys are singing songs.
Zoot Suit Riot.
We should have a moment of silence. Didn't help.
What song were you thinking of?
I was trying to help you guys with your new hit for the gym.
Oh,
Gym hit.
Yeah.
gym hit. The new gym hit. Do you get the yolk?
But oh yeah, that
We also could go to Gym Bros and just be like, hey, I got some hard-boiled eggs. You love these, right? And just not have them be hard-boiled. Like, haha.
Can you bust this hard-boiled egg in your bicep, and then they go like this, and then pow, it's not a hard-boiled egg, and they're like, oh, and then you just start running away after you slap them with flour.
slap them with flour and push them in a big barrel of hot oil and eat them?
Oh, you just got double breaded. You just leave. Oh man, that'd be insane.
Come with us next week as we get Ashton Kutcher.
I don't know if we'd be able to hide that much heated oil that close to somebody. Somebody would be like, do you smell that? And they'd be like, hey, can you pop this egg? And then pow. Hey, how come there's all these Italian breadcrumbs right here? No reason.
Hey, jump in that ball pit. That's just a bunch of breadcrumbs and flour. First, jump in this. And
Egg
then,
wash.
yeah,
Yep.
egg wash.
That's what you gotta have. You gotta have
You do.
egg wash. You gotta have a wet hand and a dry hand if you're gonna bread stuff.
You ever make
Yep.
French toast?
All the time.
French toast, very good. Probably one of my. I'm not a big breakfast guy. Probably one of my favorite.
I feel like French toast, like some of those pancakes, French toast, the crepes with strawberries. Although one time they did make those fresh crepes, that was really good. But they're just desserts.
Oh yeah,
Like a crepe with strawberries and whipped cream is not breakfast. You know what I mean? I mean, it can be breakfast, but
yeah.
it's like,
Most
that's
breakfast
just
food
a-
is
bacon and eggs and hash browns.
with strawberries and whipped cream on top.
Yum.
I also just like toast. Toast with butter.
Ooh, toast with butter is probably like the go-to. Like I eat toast with butter, garlic salt.
All the time. But yeah, you got anything else coming up, Duster?
Nope.
Nice. Well, this
Actually,
Thursday,
probably. Yeah, I don't know.
Nice. Well, this Thursday, be sure to come to Dempsey's for the roast
Oh, yeah,
battle with
there's
Jansonia. I'll be doing comedy.
It's a
We'll
rap
start it off
battle.
in the middle. What did I say?
Roast battle. We're gonna have
Well,
a roast battle
battle
in
coming up.
September.
Yeah, so it said comedy for that too, but it's like a beat battle.
Yeah,
also.
I'm doing just some
And
times in there.
If I can get there by sign up time, I kind of want to have some beats ready for the beat battle.
Oh, perfect.
Do you sign up like there?
It's
or-
there, so that's what I read. But I don't know if that's for the beat competition or the comedy or if it's all.
The comedy is just me. I'm just doing time in between.
Yeah.
I'm just doing
Oh,
like 10
sweet.
minutes to start off, and then I'm doing time in the middle. So I'm just like doing the kind of, not hosting it, but like kicking her off and keeping it moving.
keeping it moving.
But, okay.
All right.
Well,
Crop
Aloha.
Dusters at Rick's on Friday.
oh, nice.
What time Friday?
Friday and Saturday, actually, it looks like. I've got 8 o'clock on my calendar.
Boom.
Until at least midnight, I'm sure.
Perfect.
Ooh.
And we're not a metal band, so we'll see how that goes over at Rick's bar. this
Heck yeah.
Friday.
Nice. You get steak there on Tuesdays.
It's true.
Okay. Anything else,
know
Quay?
Nope.
Okay, toodaloo.
Aloha.
Bye.
Oh, it's a pretty good episode. Liked it. Had fun.
Like even